Alright guys, what's going on? So, as some of you already know, up on the FZ6R forums and stuff, I had a bit of a motorcycle accident yesterday. I did go to the hospital and get myself all checked out, x-rays, CT scans, EKG. I was there for 4 or 5 hours. Nothing too major, just some scratches on my wrist, swollen on the wrist. Maybe a small fracture on the left wrist, scrape on my leg, but other than that, I was able to walk away from the accident. The bike, on the other hand, does have some damage. So, big shout out to my buddy Chubbs. Big shout out to my buddy MotoBike Mike, who were there. I was riding with, and they kind of helped me out. It was kind of sucks. You don't want to go down. You don't want to crash your bike. But we did get it out of the ditch. I did actually ride it back for maybe 30 or 40 kilometers back to the closest town. Still sound, but yeah, let me grab the camera and I'm going to show you, I guess, some of the damage on the bike. There's some bends and tweaks and fairings, plastics, all the normal stuff that you would expect to break. So yeah, let me grab the camera. So we'll start with the front of the bike. You can see the whole upper cowling is, I guess it's kind of tilted or bent toward the right hand side of the bike. It's going to look like your left in the video. So you can see, like, it's all broken up here. It's all cracked, broken. Windshield was completely sheared off except for this little tiny piece you see laying right on top of on top there, sheared completely off. This mirror sheared completely off. It's all cracked here. Another shot from the mirror from the other side. So you can see the bike. The handlebars are actually they're actually straight right now. But you can see the angle that the instrument cluster is pointed on, mainly because the stay bracket's bent. So the bars are bent. There's dirt and grass all caked up in my controls. See if you can get a little closer video there. So there's that side. Some grass up on the, I guess, the brake reservoir. Not too bad over on this side, but everything's kind of twisted. I'm going to have to replace the bars for sure. It's kind of dark over this way, so the whole left side fairing was ripped off. It is still intact. I will have it shortly. My buddy was picking it up. Clearly I can't carry a fairing on my bike while I'm riding. This piece here is still intact. It's just kind of, it's out of place, like it's just angled differently. There's no leaks or mechanical failure with the bike. The engine covers aren't really scratched up. A little bit of dirt, nothing big. There's a couple. Here's one of the fairing bolts. It's actually still in the bike, so the grommet itself pulled right out of the fairing. You can see the grommet there probably. Biggest problem is probably the dent in the gas tank. I'm guessing the handlebars probably hit it after I ditched the bike. Everything else back here is pretty good. The chain guard, the tire hugger. There's no damage here. No damage to the back wheel. There is some damage here on the back tail section. This side here looks like it took a hit. This side was bent upwards. This side here was bent downwards. It is all part of the frame, but I think I could probably just straighten it out a little bit. Like I don't see any breaks down in the frame down inside here. A little bit of paint chipping off, but that's just cosmetic stuff. I don't even care about that. So rear tail light. This was the DMP integrated tail light. It's completely busted, just shattered on impact. My fender eliminator kit. You can see it's tweaked. It's got some bends in it. That piece I could probably just straighten out. I don't think it's too bad. So the tail section, you can see how it's bent upward. There's a gap here under the bike. I think I'll be able to repair it. So nothing, I don't see anything wrong back here. All the pegs, like there's no damage. There's no damage here. Again, there's no scratches on the engine cover. The Hindle exhaust, I don't even think it took a hit anywhere. Like it looks intact, but I'm going to get the fairings off the bike and kind of check it over first. So there's no leaks, no broken hoses. Like that's pretty good. So mechanically the bike is sound. This fairing here, it was kind of buckled a little bit right here at this point right here, just because of the tweak in the front cowling. It actually caused a little pucker here in the fairing, but I've actually unsnapped the fairing from the front, and you can see like it's supposed to go in here, so you can see how badly bent it is right at the moment. This piece is supposed to lock in like right here essentially. So yeah, like it's just the front. I'll get that fixed up. No real damage down under here. Small scrape on the edge of the rim, which kind of sucks. It is cosmetic. I mean, it's nothing huge. But I'm kind of a perfectionist. I like shit to look normal, look good. I don't know if the front's tweaked or not. I can't tell just yet. Maybe the front's tweaked a little bit. The forks, I don't know. I hope not. This piece down here, this is the mounting bracket for the lower fairing. This was completely bent back under the bike. The shifter was completely bent. We had to straighten that out just so I could kind of ride it. But overall, the bike is pretty solid. I hope the forks aren't tweaked, but I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe I can. We'll see. We don't know. I gotta start tearing the bike apart. So as for the gear, I was wearing just a mesh jacket. You could see where I took the impact, my left shoulder. I was either thrown off the bike or I ditched the bike and just rolled in the grass a little bit. So that's kind of messed up, but the jacket's not damaged in any way. There's no rips or tears. Alright guys, so here's the helmet. You can see I rolled in the dirt a little bit. Like there's a lot of scratches on my helmet here. This is a Scorpion EXO. A lot of scratches here. It didn't break, but I'm pretty sure you're never going to get those scratches out. Some of the vents missing up on the top of my helmet. Actually, this one's missing as well. So yeah, like I mean, the gear, it helps you. Like there's no major impacts on the helmet. Like nothing but just minor scrapes but yeah, like I've had this helmet for 5 years now. I'm probably going to switch it out. Not that I want to, but I think it's probably the best option. So I got home today, guys, and I've got some of the remaining bike plastics and stuff were left on my doorstep. Chubbs, the guy I was riding with, his buddy Dennis, was kind enough to bring them from London up to my house here in Whitby and dropped them off. So this piece is just part of the inner fairing. It's doesn't look like it's broken. Maybe it's missing some hardware, I'm not sure. This is one of the, I guess this is probably the left side upper fairing, the cowling. Yeah, it's all broken here. You can see it's not complete. So that piece is probably garbage. This is one of the inner, I'm going to say this is the inner right or inner left side, I don't know. Anyways, it's got a big chunk out of it as well. Other than the hardware mounting screw in the piece itself, it's probably garbage, but I'll salvage the hardware. Another plastic piece. This piece is actually from, one of these pieces actually is from the inner fairing on the right hand side, because there's two of them, there's a right and a left. They both look fairly intact. There is a little clip here on this one, and I see it's missing on this one, so maybe it's on the fairing, maybe it's not. Not a big deal. This is part of the front nose cowling of the bike. It has actually been sheared right off the left side, and basically without this piece, this is what everything else bolts to on the left side of the bike. So yeah, I think this piece is probably garbage. A couple little screws and stuff here I can probably reuse. I don't think there's any way to weld this back together like with a plastic weld, or I just don't think it's going to work. So that's probably garbage. This piece unfortunately is the piece that I was kind of hoping maybe survived. This thing is like a unicorn on this bike. This is the rear seat cowl. If you can find one of these anywhere in the world, I'd be surprised. I know even when I bought this one, it was one of the last ones, and it was actually blue. I had to carbon dip it just to kind of, like, I couldn't get one any other way. I couldn't get a white, couldn't get a red. It was either blue or yellow. So yeah, this piece has got a little crack in it here. Some of the hardware and stuff underneath is missing. I can see it's kind of broken. I'm hoping I can salvage this. I'm not going to scrap it on the floor, that's for sure. This piece is like a unicorn. This thing is probably worth like $200–300 easy. And then last but not least, this is the left side fairing. It's actually still attached to the left cowling piece here. All the hardware is in place, so I'll steal the hardware back off it again. A little bit of cracking and stuff on some of the mounts on the back of the fairing, but overall, I mean, to go down at 120 kilometers an hour and not even really break the fairing, like, that's pretty impressive. So it's got some scratches. I did a decal before. I put another decal on this side before. The decal alone was probably about $160. It's not cheap. Half my surface mount, flush mount signal light survived, the mounting hardware. So yeah, we'll reuse what we can. So yeah, this is most likely the end of episode 1. Episode 2, I'm going to start kind of stripping the fairings off the bike, and we're really going to see, I guess we're really going to see what kind of damage is on the front end. Mainly the forks is what I'm interested in. I just hope they're not tweaked or bent or something like that. Alright, so thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe so you get notifications when the next video is released. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned.